I'm Darren the Magic Ghostbuster. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and if you like magic particularly, that is my main thing, so check out all my other videos on Ghostbusters themed magic. But in this video, I will be taking a look at this. No, it's not a mini fridge. This is the Blitzway 1/6 scale Ecto 1. I've been waiting for this for, I think, 2 years it must be. I pre-ordered this. Blitzway make great stuff. They are a bit notorious for delays, basically. I think the figures which I got probably delayed by 2-3 years it seems. But I got mine from nerdtoysuk.com, so check them out if you want any cool Ghostbusters merchandise or any other sort of merchandise. That's a great shop to look at. But yes, how we're going to do this, so I'm not going to show you like a half hour of me struggling to open a box and all that sort of stuff, so I'm going to cut away and I'm going to basically just film the good parts, and then I'm going to, at the end I'm going to show you all the sound, the lights, do some comparisons with the Eagle Moss Ecto 1 that I'm currently building, so I can't show you obviously a full comparison, but I can show you a comparison size-wise of what it looks like so far, and the comparison to a couple other things. But yes, I hope you enjoy it. I can't wait to get stuck in, so let's do it. So as you can see, it's well packed inside. There have been reports of this cardboard outer box being damaged, but it looks like the way they've packaged it, that if that has happened to one that you may have bought, then hopefully all these things would have protected the outer box. Okay, so I got this out of the outer box with great difficulty. I ended up having to turn it on its side. Unfortunately, I don't have anyone here to help me at the moment, and I was too excited to wait, basically. But there you go, there is that side of the box, and that's the top where we'll be opening it. And then we come around this side, and actually let's rotate the camera. There we go. And you can see a nice picture of the Ecto there. And then list of the creators, warning, notice, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so now we have it open. You can see there are a couple of these straps that are helping hold it all together. And they seem to come undone. And instruction book. So let's take a quick look at the instruction book. As you can see there, we have the part list, and then we move on to the assembly instructions and operating instructions. There's the MP3 player instructions. Okay, so having a quick look, I can see there's this part here that looks like it should lift up, and there we have the top, the roof rack there, and yeah, that looks really cool. And now we've taken the top part of the polystyrene out. There you can see the Ecto well protected. Oh, this thing looks amazing. I don't think the camera is going to do this one justice. I mean, I've seen pictures of this, I've seen other people doing videos and stuff before it arrived here in the UK, and I mean, the size of it, I don't think any picture really prepared me for how big this thing was. It's crazy. So I've just got it out of the box. This thing was hard to get out. It's not just the weight. I mean, obviously this thing is heavy. I've not weighed it, but I think I've read that it's about 19-20 kilograms. But it's the size, just getting your hands around it and underneath was really awkward. But let's take a quick look in the box. You can see we've got the antennas and some of the roof parts, and there's the power cable, some bits. So I've taken most of the protective wrap off. I've just decided to leave the film on the window just until it's finished, just in case I ended up dropping something on that. Don't want to scratch it. And I noticed there is some more stuff in the boot actually. And that looks like the trolley for the proton packs. Okay, so now it's time to start putting it together. Okay, so the first stage was putting this on. Now I did find the left one really hard to push in, whereas the right one just went in really easily. These took a little bit of a pushing in, but they're in now. Now the next part is to wire up the roof rack, and that's pretty simple. It's all color coded, but what I'm going to do before I do that, because I'm worried about scratching the top, I'm just going to put some of the plastic over just to protect the top basically whilst I do that. Okay, so that has been wired up and is now on. That just simply fitted into place in these holes, and there was a couple of holes at the top of this as well. So that is now done. Okay, so next up is putting this bit on, which simply goes in like that. This is also where the batteries go. We'll get onto later on, and then this simply goes over like that. Okay, so next part is this tube, and that is going to just slot into the MP3 player part like that. And then we're going to come down here. I'm trying to do this one-handed, so it's a bit cat-handed, but that is going to slot in there. If I put that first, and then there we go. So that is on like that. And then the ladder. So there's two little holes here, and you're going to go in there like that, and then it's going to slot in there like this. Nearly forgot this piece. That goes just in there like that. Okay, so this goes there, and then we have this part that is just going to slide on there like that, and we are nearly. Okay, so assembling the front antenna, and that literally just goes in there, and then this piece goes in there. That doesn't actually feel very snug. Most of the other stuff's fitted in quite well, doesn't feel like it come loose, but that probably just needs a bit of blue tack or something to hold it in place. But not that I'm going to be riding around and playing with it, so I'll probably just leave it sitting there as it is. But that looks like one thing that could easily be come out when moving it, or if you knock it or anything. And onto the back antenna, and that literally just slots in like that. And then of course you feed these underneath the roof rack. Okay, so I've put batteries in this part, and that is for AAAs. Now I did notice that in the instructions, and I'm pretty sure on all the promo material, it actually said AA's, but they're actually AAA's that you need to put in. And then the second lot of batteries go in here. So they slot in like that. This cover goes on, and then that simply rests in place there. I mean, I'll put it in properly when I've got both hands free, but that is where the batteries go. Okay, so all the batteries are in, and to turn these lights on, there's a little button there. And then to turn the rest of the buttons lights on, sorry, there's a button underneath there which turns those on. And if we come round to the front. Got those as well. I'll be showing this in proper darkness a bit later on. So I just wanted to show you one thing quickly. These lights stopped spinning for a second, and all I did, if I push down on that, you see they stop spinning, and just pulled up on that slightly when I was messing around seeing if I could get them working, and they started spinning again. So I'm assuming there's too much pressure on a gear or something. So if you have that problem, I'd recommend just pulling up, see if that solves it. So I've just opened the proton pack rack. That just slides in like that. Obviously you can fit all of the proton packs come with Blitzway figures. That also opens up like this. You can have it halfway out, or if you wanted you could have it all the way out like that. So I'm also doing the Eagle Moss Hero Collector 1/8 scale Ecto one, which is a part work thing where you get 4 parts per month basically. And I've just finished part 18, and I was thinking to myself, Jesus, this is massive. But I have to say now, it almost looks quite tiny, and I'll show you what I mean. That poster just behind is actually a full scale poster of what the 1/8 scale will look like size wise. And then if I just come around here, I've got the bonnet from the 1/8 scale just resting on top, and there's the, so it's a bit dark there, but that's the engine and the wheels and stuff that have been done so far. And then here's this part. Now, of course, everyone will have different opinions on which one is best. I mean, obviously, the 1/8 scale is metal on quite a lot of the parts, which is good. Personally, I mean, I think they're both good. They both certainly have their place. Personally, looking at this, I prefer the this duller silver rather than the really shiny silver, personally. And obviously, you know, this is bigger and will fit the figures in, so I think it's hard to compare until obviously it's finished. It isn't just about the size. Obviously, being able to fit the figures in this one is a massive bonus. But there you go. That's a little comparison as best as you can at this point in time of the Blitzway versus the Eagle Moss. So the only other 1/6 scale vehicle I have is the Hot Toys DeLorean, and they are side by side. And I mean, the DeLorean is a massive car in itself, like a massive toy. But I mean, just look at it compared to the Ecto one, it just seems so small in comparison. It's crazy. But there you are. Let's look at their height difference as well. And see, this Ecto is massive. There you go, there's a little comparison just next to the Hot Wheels. I'm going to stop saying Hot Wheels, Hot Toys. Hot Toys DeLorean. Alright, so since I couldn't stop saying Hot Wheels because I'm stupid, here is a little comparison of the Hot Wheels Ecto 1 Elites. So the smaller one is a 1/43 scale, and the bigger one is the 1/18 scale, obviously next to the 1/6 scale Blitzway. And since I'm doing some comparisons to other things in this video, I thought I'd just compare it to the Playmobil, which I'm sure a lot of people have, is an awesome vehicle, and then the old Kenner Ecto 1 as well. So if we open up the bonnet here, and that just stays in place, you can have a look at the engine. I was quite surprised they did the engine, considering, I mean, I've got the 1/6 scale DeLorean, and well, there's no engine to speak of really, other than a tiny part that represents the battery cover. But I mean, I don't know a lot about cars, so I can't really comment on how accurate the engine is in terms of looks. I mean, I do have the Eagle Moss one here next to it as well, and yeah, I mean they're very similar. And I think the Eagle Moss one, the engine does look more detailed to me on the Eagle Moss one. I mean, I say that, like I said, not really knowing a lot about engines, it just looks like there's more little bits on it compared to the Blitzway. But like I said, I don't intend to have this displayed with the bonnet open, so I mean, I can't say I'm massively fussed by the engine myself. Yeah, makes no difference. I mean, if they had just had that covered over as just one bit of flat plastic, it wouldn't have made much of a difference to me. But I know there's a lot of people out there who really love their engines and all these details. So yeah, if you like that, it's pretty cool. So I guess we should talk about the two drawbacks from this vehicle. I mean, other than these two things, I think it is absolutely brilliant. It's awesome, but obviously the sound that these make is quite loud, as you can probably hear. That is a bit annoying. Sounds like a washing machine. Yeah, not much you can do about that, really, unfortunately. It is what it is. But even more annoying, actually, I find, is actually the MP3 player itself. Now, if we just pull that back, this gives you access to the MP3 player's SD card. Oh, there you go, it goes flying. Now, this micro SD card that it comes with is not preloaded with any music or sirens, which is a tad annoying, but you know, easy to fix. It is a let's see, 512 megabytes. You can fit a lot of music on there, and that just slots in there. And you do have controls around here to pause, play on a loop, that sort of thing. But the big drawback is you can't charge this MP3 player, and it doesn't run off any of the internal batteries. You need to actually plug this in to an external power source via the USB port. And like I said, I think this is probably its biggest drawback, in that, you know, you got this amazing looking vehicle, and then if you want to play music, you have to have this stupid USB cable hanging out the top of it. Like, I don't see why they couldn't, you know, considering the size and all that, they could have made this run off of something internal, surely, or, you know, worst case, they could have had a cable coming from the bottom or something just to power it. But anyway, let's plug it in just to show you. And it starts playing the first track that you have on the SD card automatically. And like I said, you can pause that and so on. Now, I've put several different Ghostbusters tracks on here. I'm only going to play the sirens. If I start playing the Ghostbusters theme or any of the others from the films, you know, I'll get copyright and all that on this video. But yeah, so that's the sounds. Yeah. So let's take a look at the interior, and you can see the machinery lights up. And if we put a torch in there just so you can see more detail. And let's go to the front. I think the seats look really amazing. Like, I'm not really sure if it's picking up properly with the light, but I mean, they're plastic, but they look like rubber. There is the back. All the different bits of equipment. And this is the driver's side back door. The steering wheel does actually move the front wheels, and you do have to pick the front of the car up really, because I mean, they're too heavy otherwise. detailing on the seats, amazing. Okay, so now I've shown you all the detail, the inside, the outside, the lights, sounds, comparisons. I think the next thing is to dig out my Blitzway figures and put them inside. So I managed to get all 4 figures in. This was really tight in the back. So I've got Venkman sitting there, and then around here, I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to show you Egon, but Egon is sitting there in the back, and that was really, really tight. And then the front was a lot easier. We have Ray there, Winston over there. So all 4 figures do fit in. So very tight. And then if we come round to the back, we have the proton packs, and I've got the traps, goggles there in the back. So it does all fit in, very, very tight fit. Be very careful as well. I did manage to scratch a tiny top of Venkman's hair getting him in. I think, yeah, the ceiling could have been done with it being about half an inch taller, but never mind. And that is the Blitzway Ecto 1. So, like I said there, I had a couple of little issues with it, like this needing to be plugged into a USB to make the music. The lights are obviously a bit loud, but if you get your music loud enough, it does help quite a bit in that regard. Figures are quite tight to get in, but I mean overall the detail is fantastic, and it's just an amazing model car basically. I'm very happy with it. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you have one? Are you planning on getting one? And yeah, I'm going to leave you now with some shots of it, just all the lights in the dark. But thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out my Magic Ghostbusters videos. Thanks a lot.